420 Live. Today, we're going to be talking about the top story over at NEO420.com/news. 420 Live segments will be at 420 Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Those will be top stories that we will cover. So as we look at the headline article today on NEO420 News, owner invests another $4 billion in cannabis producer Canopy. The article, as we start reading it, this article brought to us by Reuters, authored by Uday Kumar and Nikolai Simonatov. Reuters, Corona beer maker Constellation Brands will infuse another $4 billion into Canada's top cannabis producer, Canopy Growth, the biggest investment in history, to capitalize on booming demand for marijuana. Constellation, among the first big alcohol makers to invest in medical marijuana industry, pumped almost $200 million in Canopy last year in a deal to produce a non-alcoholic cannabis-based beverage. With the new investment, it will support a suite of products and assist it as it develops new offerings, Constellation Chief Executive Rob Sands said on a conference call. Toronto-listed Canopy shares rose as much as 35% and were up 28% at $41.17 a share at 10:18 Eastern Standard Time, the highest level since June, and lifted shares of its peers. Constellation shares slid 8% to $203.73 in New York. Canopy said it will use the proceeds to expand and gain exposure to the nearly 30 countries likely to approve medical marijuana. It is targeting $1 billion in overseas acquisitions over the next 6 to 12 months, Canopy executive Bruce Linton said on the call. This deal marks the end of the warm-up in our sector. It's fully go time, Linton said.
$4 billion.
I know. Canada, where 4.4 million people reported using marijuana in the first half of the year, approved medical marijuana in 2001 and will fully legalize their recreational use in cannabis come October. As some countries start opening up to legalize medical marijuana, Constellation peers Molson Coors and Anheuser-Busch have also pursued cannabis deals. Molson Coors said this month its Canadian arm would make cannabis-infused drinks with Hydropotherapy Corp. With its new deal, Constellation is paying a 38% premium to Canopy's 5-day average price, taking its ownership in the company to 38%. While STZ Constellation is paying a rich premium, we believe that it is the right move and further solidifies STZ's first mover advantage, Bonnie Herzog, a senior analyst at Wells Fargo, said in a note. Why is Wells Fargo even why are they even commenting?
It threw me off.
Like, what? Okay. Constellation's shares gained 11.7% over the past year before the announcement, underperforming the S&P 500. Canopy's share price has almost tripled. That's the impact of investment and money. Big deal. Mm-hmm. Canopy is Canada's biggest cannabis firm with a market cap of $8.9 billion. $6.76 billion US dollars. 5 of the biggest Canadian producers are now worth a total of over $18 billion, despite low sales and almost non-existent profits.
Wow.
As they pour capital into increasing capacity. That is not a win. I can guarantee I'm going to prognosticate something. Someone is going to lose some money. Recreational use is almost in 9 U.S. states in the District of Columbia, and sales in the U.S. legal markets nearly tripled to $16 billion in 2020 from $5.4 billion in 2015, according to Euromonitor International. Constellation said neither company plans to sell cannabis products in the United States until it is allowed to do so at all government levels. Wow. Canopy's revenue rose 63% to $25.9 million in the 3 months ended June 30th from a year earlier. Cannabis sales volumes climbed 47%, while the average sale price was up 12%, driven by increased sales of medical marijuana in Germany, Litton said. Constellation expects the investment in Canopy to add to earnings in 2021. The deal is expected to close in October. The deal lifted shares of Aurora Cannabis and Aprilia Inc., which rose 21% and 17% respectively. The ETFMG Alternative Harvest ETF, which includes U.S. and Canadian listed marijuana producers, rose 6.4%. A lot of money changing hands up there north of the border. A lot of hands. But we're going to go back to NEO420.com/news to check out the next story as we go down to the top 3 articles, and we're going to review the one that's the first. Cannabis, number 3, cannabis converts helping Texas veterans find relief. Cannabis converts helping North Texas veterans find relief. This article brought to us by www.wfaa.com, authored by Teresa Woodard. Dallas. Cannabinoid oil, legal to use but not easy to get in Texas, is showing promise in helping veterans manage pain and anxiety. It is not marijuana, but cannabinoid oil, known as CBD oil, derived from cannabis. Because of that, the Veterans Administration cannot prescribe it or help veterans get it, so someone else is stepping in. A quote, "I just think a lot of people don't know," said Donna Crayston, founder and CEO of Defenders of Freedom, a nonprofit organization that assists veterans with financial needs. Crayston, at one point in time, believed all cannabis products were marijuana, and anything that had to do with marijuana was bad. "I was a mom that had zero tolerance for it and held my kids' feet to the fire," she said. It is a surprise her a bit that she is now helping veterans access something made from hemp. "It really is 2 different things," she said. CBD oil is not marijuana. It is derived from cannabis plants grown specifically to produce CBD oil. This information from this organization, I can already say, is somewhat riddled with incorrect information. The industrial hemp used to produce CBD is an agricultural product. CBD oil is legal to use in every state, including Texas. It cannot get someone high, and users say it's effective treatment for pain and anxiety. Luke Barker suffers from both. "Right here, it feels like I've been kicked by about 10 mules, Barker said, pointing to his right side of his forehead. The tumor in his right frontal lobe, which is the area that controls mood and judgment and all that stuff, it's just a constant pain right here." Baker was a U.S. Navy for 13 years. He is now fighting brain cancer. Barker says, "The neurosurgeon at the Veterans Administration says he believes the tumor is related to my service. I wasn't blown up. I didn't get hit by an IED or get shot or anything like that, but he believes being around heavy weapons, there's a lot of pressure that comes off heavy machine guns. The brain absorbs all of that," he says, "and the tumor is related to my service. It's inoperable. They said that they would try to go in and remove it. I'd be a vegetable for the rest of my life," Barker said. "So what do I do now?" Just a quick comment about tumors in veterans. A lot of veterans that were in the Middle East, a lot of the ammunitions were actually tipped with old biological waste from different facilities. And it was supposed to be used to help combat the enemy, but it actually helped hurt the soldiers more. Look into that when y'all get a chance. Barker began doing research and found testimonials from veterans battling cancer, pain, and anxiety who said CBD oil made a difference in their lives. He is undergoing radiation, but wanted to try CBD oil as well. Because the VA cannot provide it, he needed to buy it and found that most potent versions, which users say are the most effective, are also expensive. The good quality CBD oils are expensive, and if they're on fixed incomes, many veterans can't afford it, Crayston said. Barker now has access thanks to Crankston and another unlikely cannabis convert. Quote, myself, I'm not a proponent of marijuana, said Steve Daniluk, a retired Marine lieutenant colonel. I was in the military for 17 years, from 17 years old, and it was drilled into my head that pot is not what we do. Daniluk spent a significant amount of time at the Walter Reed Army Medical Center and said that he saw veterans suffering from pain and over-medication. You have veterans who have 15, 20 different medications, and taking the medications are not interacting well with one another, he said. Many of them turned to cannabis as an alternative. The more I spoke with veterans and saw that there were positive benefits, clear to me that there was a medical aspect to cannabis. Daniluk and fellow veterans founded Warfighter Hemp, a company that grows organic hemp at a farm in Eaton, Colorado. Warfighter Hemp produces CBD oil. Many of his buyers are veterans or people who help veterans like Crayston. She's purchasing the CBD oil at a reduced rate and giving it to Barker. We're pretty hopeful we'll have some good results, she said. Crayston is a believer in CBD oil that she wrote to and tweeted President Donald Trump. She asked him to encourage the VA to study cannabis and hopefully one day dispense the oil as an alternative treatment. The American Legion is another organization lobbying lawmakers by pointing to the 2017 survey that found 92% of veterans support cannabis research and 83% support legalizing medical marijuana. Very interesting stories today at NEO420. Thanks again for tuning in to 420 Live. This is a new segment that we're going to be producing at NEO420. That's going to be coming on Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays at 420 Pacific Standard Time. Stay tuned, share the information, check out our website, share it with everyone, and please support what we're doing, www.neo420.com. Until next time, stay medicated. So now
Up here, save, yeah. So now I think that video should be saved on your phone now.
Okay.
And then you can hit share.
Okay, cool. And then the reason it doesn't illuminate immediately is because it's processing.
Yeah, it takes like 10 minutes or so.
Okay, cool. Anytime you want to talk on those, dude, feel free to. That's one thing we didn't talk about, how it was going to go back